Kent State men's basketball took off earlier today for their first game of March Madness on Friday. We have a closer look at their send-off.
A certain club on campus is looking to create their very own event. Our reporter has more on what they're planning.
And environmentalists and indigenous people are suing over a newly approved plan for oil drilling. More on the conflict ahead.
And astronauts are looking at a new upgrade to their spacesuits. All this and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good Wednesday evening, Portage County. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Chris Abreu.
And I'm Kelsey Drennen.
We begin tonight's newscast with the men's basketball team heading off to Albany, New York. After
their win of the MAC championship, they're on their way to face off against the Indiana Hoosiers. Our correspondent Jacob Brooks has more on the send-off. Jacob?
Hi guys, there was a big crowd at the MAC today as the Golden Flashes got on a bus to go to Albany for Friday night's game. Now, the Flashes were out for revenge from their heartbreaker of a loss last year to Akron, but this time they set the record straight, beating #1 seeded Toledo to punch their ticket to the dance. And it's a new ballgame now, as 13th seeded Kent will take on 4th seeded Indiana. And there's some history there. On this day in 2001, with the same rankings at the same time in the tourney, Kent played Indiana and won in a nail-biter by 4 points. Now, if they are to win, they will take on the winner of Miami and Drake in the next round of the tournament. Now, the game tips off at 9:55 Friday night at MVP Arena in Albany. You can watch it on TBS, and TV2 and Kent Wired will be there so follow us for updates on socials at Kent Wired, and Della will have more later on in the show. I'm Jacob Brooks, TV2 News.
Thank you, Jacob. Now moving on to some more Kent State news. Our very own cosplay club is working on creating their very own event on campus.
TV2's own Noah Rowe took a closer look at their organization to get a full scope of what they are all about. Noah?
Hi guys, that's right. Last night saw the first meeting of the KSU Cosplay Club. I had the opportunity to speak with the club officers about the event as well as club members about the art of cosplay. Last night, the first meeting of the Kent State University Cosplay Club was held in the Student Center. The club president created the club after a chance encounter at a convention within the state.
I went to some conventions and I randomly just stumbled upon people that went to Kent State just by chance, and I was like, this happened twice now. I gotta do something. There's some kind of connection with Kent State cosplayers, so I should make a club. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna do it.
And each meeting will offer different workshops, presentations, or activities surrounding the art of cosplay.
I also want to host workshops that are special as people who are experienced within cosplay can teach people how to cosplay. Cosplay 101, what is cosplay? How to style a wig, how to buy cosplay for not $100.
The club officers want to offer an open and safe environment for everyone in the cosplay community, whether you're a cosplay expert or have never cosplayed before in your life.
We want to help spread this to more people who don't know about it, because cosplaying is a very accepting area for anybody of any level and any person, whoever they identify. It's a very welcoming area where it's everybody starts at nowhere and gets somewhere. It's open for anybody. I think it's really important to have these spaces for your interests, the things that you're passionate about.
Some club members shared how cosplay has changed their life, and one student even explained how cosplay helped them become more comfortable with their own gender identity.
There was a point where something clicked and I went, I really enjoy dressing as a guy. I enjoy being recognized as a guy, and that's what led into me realizing that I was trans.
And looking towards the future, the newly formed club has big plans. One of their major goals has the working title of FlashCon, a cosplay convention that would be held right here at Kent State University.
I want it to be like any other local con where there's going to be art vendors, there's going to be different panels that people can set up. I even want to ask the anime club if they want to if they're open to collabing with us. I think it'd just be fun to have all the cosplayers get together from all around Ohio to come to Kent State and come around and cosplay.
And students of all cosplay experience levels are encouraged to stop by the club to learn more about the hobby. Information can be found on the Cosplay Club's Instagram, Discord, and GroupMe. Reporting for TV2, I'm Noah Rowe.
Well, good evening, Kent and our surrounding areas. My name's Rocco Grassi, and I'm here tonight to get you the latest on the weather. Let's just get right into it. So currently in Kent, it's going to be 42 degrees, but it feels like 38. Our dew point's at 19 degrees, and our wind's going about 6 miles per hour. Humidity's at 38%, and our visibility is at 10 miles per hour. So later tonight at around 8 p.m., we're going to be getting a 34 degrees. It's going to be clear out, so that's really nice to see. At midnight, it's going to be dipping down to 31 degrees with a little bit partly cloudy. And at 8 a.m., it's going to be actually staying the same with the partly cloudy at 31 degrees. Now tomorrow you can expect a little bit warmer temperatures of 53 degrees, and it'll be partly cloudy throughout the day with a slight chance of an afternoon shower, but then later into the night, we're going to probably have a 90% chance of the rain. The winds are going to be like 15 miles per hour once the rain kicks up, and the sunset will be at 7:30. So that has been your update, and tune in later tonight for more weather updates. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Rocco. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine will raise wellness and recruitment support for first responders by $20 million. This brings the sum of funding for the Recruitment, Retention, and Resilience Program to $95 million. DeWine first created the program back in May 2022 to support law enforcement, firefighters, and EMTs. The Portage County Sheriff's Office will receive nearly $1.7 million of the funding to hire 8 full-time deputies for the next 2 years.
And 11 current and former officers at the East Cleveland Police Department were indicted today. This is from participating in appalling behavior and facing charges of assault and interfering with civil rights. In the past 7 months, 16 officers from the department were indicted.
Cleveland's officials might seek legal action against TikTok. During a city council meeting today, members said that the app is popularizing car theft, specifically of Kias and Hyundais. The Kia challenge first emerged on the app last summer when a user posted a video using a USB cable on a key slot to hotwire a car, exposing a major vulnerability in any Kias and Hyundais made before 2021. The hashtag associated with the challenge now has 75 million views in January. A TikTok spokesperson said they do not condone Grand Theft Auto.
And employees of Ohio public universities and community colleges might be prohibited to go on strike if Senate Bill 83 would get passed. The bill also wants to formalize how professors get evaluated, whether it is before or after tenure, and change how all faculty negotiate their contracts. And they wouldn't be the only ones affected. Campus workers would also be ones not allowed to go on strike.
A U.S. state is reviewing a lawsuit aimed at blocking the use of abortion pills, what that means for the nation as a whole.
Russian and U.S. aircrafts made contact for the first time since the start of the war on Ukraine. What happened to the U.S.'s drone ahead?
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
President Biden spoke in Nevada earlier today about lowering the cost of prescription drug prices. He was in the battleground state as a part of his fundraising for his 2024 presidential election. His remarks focused on his economic message surrounding drug prices in America. He also mentioned the popularity of the programs he is proposing to lower costs, saying many Americans want this to happen for their families. Following his speech, the Biden administration released reports on the effects of the Inflation Reduction Act on healthcare costs.
And Americans pulled back on spending last month, with retail sales falling by 0.4% from January. The Department of Commerce says the drop in spending for the month of February was greater than what economists expected. The largest monthly sales declines happened at food and drinking places, department stores, furniture stores, and auto dealers.
And First Republic Bank's credit ratings were downgraded today by both Fitch Ratings and SP Global Ratings. This is from concerns that depositors could pool their cash despite the federal intervention. These moves reflect continued worries about the banking system in the aftermath of the collapse of Silicon Valley and Signature Bank. Both Fitch and S&P warned they could further downgrade First Republic.
And in Texas, a federal judge is considering a lawsuit that looks to block the use of abortion pills nationwide. The lawsuit would target mifepristone, which is one of the 2 drugs used for abortions. This drug blocks the hormone progesterone that is needed to continue a pregnancy. The drug is also used for other conditions like stomach ulcers, and this drug has been available at pharmacies for decades.
The Senate Judiciary Committee convened for a hearing on gun safety earlier today. The hearing included witnesses telling the committee that last year's bill expanding Second Amendment rights made gun control difficult in the states. There were large partisan divides between Republicans and Democrats on how to combat gun violence in the future. This comes after dozens of states implemented laws doing away with certain gun restrictions over the past year.
And environmental and indigenous groups are separately suing over a newly approved plan to drill for oil in the National Petroleum Reserve. Earth Justice and Trustees for Alaska are suing federal agencies that are connected to the project. The lawsuits argue that Biden's administration environmental analysis violates federal law. However, advocates say the Willow project would create jobs and decrease dependence on foreign oil.
A nor'easter winter storm has left nearly 200,000 people in the Northeast without power. The storm is likely to still linger in New England and New York today, with lighter snow and heavy winds that could still cause power outages.
This comes after some parts of the Northeast got hit with up to 36 inches of snow yesterday. Tonight, some can expect gusts of winds up to 50 miles per hour, and the National Weather Service put out an advisory for people in those areas.
Now, while we were hit with some of the snow earlier today, or not today, yesterday, we were lucky enough to wake up to some sunny skies.
I know, I was actually very surprised that it was kind of warmer out. I wasn't like freezing like I was yesterday.
I know. Let's see if our weather anchor, Rocco, can let us know if those warm temperatures are going to continue. Hi, Rocco.
Hello, Chris. I think it's really nice that my walk here actually didn't have a lot of snow, and a lot of it had melted since yesterday. But as you can see, we are going to be in the colder areas, as you can see with right now, with the 30s and roughly like lower 30s, with Cleveland and Sandusky being more near the higher 30s. And around, like, it's chilly, but it's nice. Just keep your coat on. In the further out areas, we can see it's still roughly around the same area with roughly 35 degrees in Akron and Columbus. Even Lima and Dayton just kind of getting a little bit warmer in there. Now, our week hopefully might be a little bit cold, but it shouldn't be as awful as we've maybe had over the last couple of days. As you can see with our 7-day forecast, we have our 50s. It's going to be a little warmer coming up in the next couple of days with some rain happening. Over the weekend, it's going to be cold, so make sure you keep on your coat. It's going to be a little cloudy, but that's okay. And once we get back into the week with the Mondays and our Tuesdays, it'll be nice and sunny, but it's still going to be a little bit warmer out. And sadly, with Wednesday, we're going to be getting some more rain. So once again, this has been your update for the week. Once again, my name is Rocco Grassi. Thank you, and I will see you next week.
Thanks, Rocco. Local authorities say at least 190 people are dead after Tropical Cyclone Freddie ripped through southern Malawi. 584 others have been injured and 37 people are reported missing in the country. The Malawi Ministry of Natural Resources and Climate Change says the cyclone is weakening, but will still cause torrential rains and windy conditions. The risk of heavy flooding and winds still remains high in the country.
And at least 11 miners are dead and 17 are trapped under rubble after a series of explosions in a mine in central Colombia. Last night, more than 30 miners were working underground during the explosions, and 4 of the miners were able to escape during the explosions that are believed to be from accumulations of gas. Since this morning, rescue operations are ongoing, and both national and regional authorities are doing what they can to rescue those who are still alive.
And a U.S. drone was taken down by a Russian fighter jet over the Black Sea yesterday. The U.S. military says the drone and 2 Russian aircrafts were flying over international waters when one of them flew ahead and dumped a fuel on the unmanned drone, taking it down.
The incident marks the first time Russian and U.S. aircrafts have come into contact since Russia started its war with Ukraine. In the war, Russia is currently making small advances on the Ukrainian city Bakhmut to try and gain access to the rest of Ukraine.
And the UK Defense Ministry said both UK and German fighter jets scrambled to intercept a Russian aircraft flying near Estonian airspace earlier today. This comes after raised concerns over air confrontation near Russia and Ukraine during the ongoing war.
The UK and Germany are carrying out joint air missions to police in Estonia. This is part of NATO's efforts to bolster their eastern flank against Russia. And NASA and Axiom Space have revealed a new spacesuit design, and these suits could eventually be worn by the first woman and person of color to walk on the moon. These suits will look different from the original white suits, but instead be black with blue and orange detailing. The suit will play a crucial role in NASA's Artemis program, which looks to return astronauts to the lunar surface later on a mission called Artemis 3.
And when we come back, March Madness kicked off just last night, and the NCAA has a new president. What challenges he is facing in the new job?
And this team is undefeated in their championships at home. Tumbling into your sports report, we will talk all things MAC gymnastics.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Welcome back. As March Madness begins, new NCAA President Charlie Baker says it is currently a hard time for college sports.
That's right. Baker just became the NCAA president 2 weeks ago, and he was formerly the governor of Massachusetts. He recently spoke publicly about the challenges of the job, including issues with gender equity and transgender athletes.
The NCAA did a fairly third party did a fairly comprehensive study, made a bunch of recommendations, and many of those recommendations have been implemented, and others are in the process of being implemented, and has made some very significant investments in leveling the playing field on what I would call the student-athlete experience on the men's side and on the women's side.
And sticking with sports, our own Della Fowler has a breakdown of KSU sports.
That's right, including updates on KSU wrestling. Hi, Della.
Right, guys, welcome to the best part of your day, the Sports Report. We will kick it off with on the wrestling floor. Kent State, they will send 2 of their wrestlers to the NCAA Wrestling Championship in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jake Ferry will represent the Flashes in the 23rd seed in the 125-pound bracket after his second-place finish at the MAC Championships. Ferry will rematch against Arizona State's Brandon Courtney. In their last meeting, Courtney was victorious with a 10-8 decision, but this is the championships. Anything can happen. Kent State will also send Enrique Munigua to Tulsa as an alternate in the 165-pound bracket. You can get your last taste of wrestling this year cheering on the Flashes tomorrow at noon on all ESPN networks. And from the Beast to the Beauty, the Kent State gymnastics team will host the MAC Championships on Saturday at 2 p.m. The Flashes will compete against all of the MAC and hopefully continue their historic undefeated streak when hosting the MACs. Be on the lookout for Ball State and Western Michigan. They finished the regular season as co-championships of the MAC. Now, Rachel DeCavich is expected to be the anchor of the team, competing in all 4 events to finish up her last season as Golden Flash. The key to success here is the overall championship is consistency. The Flashes have to put up great scores in each event, but they've had trouble connecting them. They have to make sure that they can score big in the weaker areas like vault and bars rather than relying on their stellar floor skills. If they can do this, they definitely have a shot at taking that beautiful MAC championship title home. And now we're going to travel to somewhere that's much warmer than here. On the outside, that is, not on the ice, though. Jackets visiting the Sharks here. The home team on the power play. First off, Alex Barbanoff knocks it in for the first score of the game. The Sharks' power play has been good all season, and it'll get this game going. Now Jackets through the neutral zone. Line 8, and his shot is blocked, but Johnny Hockey on the rebound evens the score. The Sharks goalie thought he saved it, but it is 1-1. We are tied up and rolling. Now here we go, a 3-on-2 development. And here, there we go. The rest of the Sharks are in a line change, and they won't have time to catch up. The captain, Boone Jenner, makes it a 3-1 lead. And San Jose is going to get outshot here only in the second period now, 7-28. There's our graphics about it. Blue Jackets fans, they know this story all too well. Their starter with the day off, and Tarasov gets lost in the sauce from William Eklund and his first NHL goal. We are at 3-2 now. Now Boone Jenner will get a second of the period, making the Jackets lead 4-1, but a buzzer beater here by Couture makes this a 1-goal game. Third period now, we're going to move there, adding a goal apiece from each team, but San Jose needs another if they want to go to overtime. But Kanashov, never count out a D-man. He will teach us that lesson. To overtime, they will go. And Johnny Hockey will take Columbus to the OT victory, and that's all I've got time for today. I'm Della Fowler, and I will catch you on the court, Portage County.
Thanks, Della. Ever reaching for food on the top shelf, but you just can't quite get it? Well, coming up, a dinosaur who likely never had that problem. Welcome back. The fossil remains of a dinosaur revealed that it had a neck about 10 feet longer than a typical school bus. Carbon dating says the fossil is about 162 million years old and from China.
The creature's 49.5-foot long neck would have allowed it to hover above vegetarian eating, a lot of food, and conserving energy. Paleontologists verified the length of the neck by examining the preserved vertebrae in the remains. And a queen is being honored by the king. Well, the band queen, that is. The lead guitarist Brian May is now Sir Brian May, after he was knighted by King Charles yesterday. This is in honor of his service to music and charity. And May also holds the title of Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Order back in 2005.
And for the first time in 31 years, the Labrador Retriever is not America's favorite dog breed. According to the American Kennels Club 2022 report, French Bulldogs have now taken the seat at the top. The AKC says the dog's small size and quiet demeanor make them so easy to love. Many celebrities have taken a liking to their wrinkly noses as well, including Reese Witherspoon and Megan Thee Stallion.
That's so cute.
I've only had like I enjoy big dogs a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like huskies,
I've had bigger dogs and I've had smaller dogs. I mean, my Shih Tzu, he's not getting any bigger. Like.
So I say that, but at home right now, there's 2 teddy bear puppies. That's what my parents like, because it's easier to take care of them.
I want a greyhound, though. I want a big greyhound. I really want that dog.
A big greyhound?
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, Kelsey, you like what you like. And that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at KentWired.com and follow us on all of our social media at KentWired. I'm Kelsey Drennen.
And I'm Chris Abreu. Have a great night, Portage County.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University, streaming online at KentWired.com.